All right, there are currently 7 Division I men's basketball players who were born in the Ukraine. 7 players going through basically hell every day, wondering whether their loved ones are safe back home as Russia invades and attacks their homeland. We're fortunate to be joined by 4 of the 7 players here today, and we really appreciate each one of you guys coming on to share your stories, your emotions, your insight, so we can kind of understand what you and your families and your friends and are going through. First, let me start and let each one of you introduce yourself. Dima, why don't you start? Who you are, who you play for, where you're from.
So my name is Dima. I was originally born down south of Ukraine, in a small town called Yalta. Unfortunately got taken away by Russia in 2014, with I would say half of my family there. So I was forced to be moved to up north in like another, not a big town. I would say it's about 80 miles north out of capital called Chernihiv. Basically I was in the United States since I was 14 years old. I just came here straight for basketball and school. None of my family moved here, so every summer I was trying to go back home and see my family. So and
you're at Grand Canyon now.
Yes, and right now I'm at Grand Canyon University, which is down in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep. Vova.
Yes, so my name is Vova. I'm from Ukraine. Originally, I'm from Truskavets. It's my mother hometown. But at the age of 2, we moved to Ivano-Frankivsk with all my family. I have kind of similar story to Dima. In the age of 13, I moved to Lithuania for school for basketball. But every summer I try to go home, and successfully I do this since the last 7 years. Every summer I spend in my home. And right now in San Francisco, California.
Max?
My name is Max. I'm originally from Kiev, born and raised in Kiev. And I moved to the States in August 2020. So this is my second year in the States.
And Max, you're at Utah State, right. 19 years Utah old, State. Right? At Utah State. Okay. George?
Yeah, my name is George. I'm originally from Kerch. It's a small city down in Crimea, which was taken over by the Russians back in 2014. I had to move to Odessa, which is down south, I would say next to the Black Sea. I grew up there, and I moved here to the United States in 2015 to play basketball. I'm here at Canisius, which is in Buffalo, New York.
All right, so let me start, Max, if we can, with you, because obviously your family, you grew up kind of in the heart of everything that's going on right now in Kiev. Russia right now seemingly preparing to attack your home city where your family is. How difficult is this? I mean, what are your emotions? How are you keeping up with all this right now, Max? How often are you talking to your family? Where are they?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely mixed emotions because once you talk to your parents and all your family and they reassure you that everything is good and they're safe, that gives you some calmness for them, for the whole situation. But at the same time, I can't talk to them 24/7, I call them once or twice a day. So that whole time when I'm not talking to them, it's just, I hope nothing happens, because it's so random, like the stuff that's happening in Ukraine, you can't really, it's out of my control. So that's probably the worst part.
Have they tried to get out, Max, or are they just going to stay in Kiev and try to, go ahead.
For now, I think they're going to stay and find shelters or something, but I don't think they're leaving anytime soon.
like in your conversations, have you tried to convince them to leave, or are they just kind of steadfast on staying home and kind of protecting their house and hoping that everything turns out okay?
Yeah, I think it's more of that because all my grandparents also live in Kiev. So if they leave, they can't really take, like 10 people and leave because there's thousands of cars on the borders and stuff like that can cross. So it would be a long time. And at the same time, I feel like it's safer to just stay home and like stay in shelters than just move around the country with everything that's going on.
Vova, your dad, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think your dad is a police officer. He's in law enforcement.
Yes, right. Right now, he worked for a public safety patrol, so he patrolled the street with other guys, like at least 10 hours per day. And I'll tell you my story because
Sure.
Ivano-Frankivsk is like originally west part of Ukraine. For example, from Kiev, it's like 8 to 6 hour drive with the car. To like Lugansk and Donetsk, it's like 10 hours, maybe 12. It depends on the traffic. So it's like opposite side of Ukraine. So before all these situations happen, I think guys have like the same feeling. Everybody asked me like, what do you think about Russian-Ukrainian conflict? Do you think Russia will attack you? And because I believe only in the good things, I always answer, no way it can happen. We live in such a good time, then like this conflict just can't happen in my mind. So after the practice, I go home, do my homeworks, take some lunch, and then one of my coaches called me and asked me what happened in Ukraine right now, because I saw the news and it's tell me like something crazy is happening right now. I have no idea because I was busy like the whole day, and I can't imagine like this possibly can happen. So then I think, okay, I need to call to my mom, but it was like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in Ukraine. So I think she probably will sleep right now. So I don't want to call her because it's like so early. So then another coaches called me and have exactly the same question, like what happened in Ukraine? And then I started worries, maybe really something happened. So then I opened Facebook, I saw my mom online, and then I realized really something happened because it's 6 a.m. So I called to my mom. I was like positive because I can't believe like this can happen. So, hey mom, how are you? What happened? Because a lot of people ask me, can you like prove this everything okay? And then I heard like my mom was crying and told me the Russian attack Ukraine. In this moment, I really lose myself. I like have nothing to say to her. I want to try to support, but I understand like in this moment it's like no worse than it can help her. I just can ask how my sister, how my dad doing, and she said like my sister sleep, my dad go to the military base because he's a police officer, and then I think okay, if Russia attack Ukraine, Ivano-Frankivsk far away from this situation, like far away. I called to my father just to check are he doing okay. He said like everything is good. Then called back to my mom, and she told me the airport in my city was destroyed like 10 minutes ago. And then I was wrong twice. First time I was wrong that Russia never attacked Ukraine, and the second time the situation doesn't affect my city. So in the next day, one of my friends called me from Lithuania, called me and say, I can help your family, at least for your mom and your sister, because I know your dad is a police officer, and probably he can't leave the country because he need to protect my home. She told me like he have a house and can help move my family from Ukraine to Lithuania. So like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, my mom, my 11-year-old sister, and 2 more kids leave the country.
Where are they now?
Right now they're in Lithuania.
They are. So they're safe, but your dad is out there on the streets.
Yes, every day.
Okay, I mean, I know you've grown up with him doing this job, but still not with what's going on right now. How scared are you? How worried are you about him?
I'll tell you, my dad was so strong man. I mean, mentally, physically, he's strong man. But last time when I'm talking to him, I feel emotional, mental. He not destroyed, but he was not positive. Because can you imagine, like, all your family leave the house because it's dangerous, because anytime the bomb can like go to your house and just kill all your family. Like, what the crazy time we live in.
Dima, you grew up again in an area that was Russian controlled. What was that like? I mean, I assume you had a completely different experience. And when you see Russia now again attacking your country, what do you think? Again, you were in this, but they obviously weren't like they are now in terms of hostility and being aggressive to this degree.
So as right now, it's not even as right now. Since 2014, like the place where my mom and my sister in Crimea, where they were staying, it was just filled with the propaganda. It was basically a dictatorship. Like it's really bad, and it's a lot of media was blocked out there. So people in Russia or Crimea or Russian controlled area, they could not see, they couldn't use media to the extent where it's supposed to be. So it was all pro-Russian propaganda. And comparing to the rest of the world, it's like another planet out there. People, like, the worst part, I talked to a lot of my friends back in Crimea, where it's Russian controlled, and a lot of people, like I would say half of the population of Russia right now, they think because of the propaganda that's Russia actually doing a right thing, and they try to protect their borders by killing just Ukrainian people, and it just fills so much with the propaganda, and it's just crazy because on February 24th, we just got done playing Chicago State. We beat them. I was happy, and then one of my coaches come in and say, "Hey man, did you check your phone? Like, what is going on?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" So I check my phone, and it's just filled with notifications that's the war in Ukraine, Russia invade. So the first thing I call my family. I call my uncle, because I'm super close with my uncle. That's I basically, every summer I go back to his house, because it was so hard to make it down south to Crimea, because it's so just hard to cross the Russian border. So I called my uncle, what's going on? Say, Russia just invaded, and they stay about 20 miles from a border with Belarus. And he just says, it's a ton of tanks just rolling into our border. And the same night, it was closer to the morning. In the morning, our president released a mandate where he started giving up an arms to civilians who was willing and wanted to protect their country. So my uncle just he just had to take a charge and just go protect his town. And so it was so hard to communicate, just because Russian army just did very, very crazy stuff. They start just sending ton of missiles to power plants, so the whole town doesn't have no power to charge their phones, no water. So you cannot really warm yourself up, and they just start destroying the whole city. So my family, my dad started making his way up north to arm himself up and make sure that he can protect his family as well. So it's crazy out there right now, and I'm extremely proud for what my family does, because they like every single person around country. They just stood up for themselves, and they just they just protect what they have, what's theirs. But on the other hand, it just what's Vladimir Putin and the whole Russian Federation just doing to us is just inhuman, and and there is no words to describe it, because right now it's just a massacre of people, because Russian army charging with their missiles, like everything.
When they were in your town, when the Russians were in your town, how did they treat you guys individually? Did you have communication with them or not really?
So from what I heard, Russian army was extremely unorganized, because they got sent there with an intent. They'll just come in there, just roll into local administration buildings. They just destroy the local government and they will rule there. But as they met a lot of resistance, and they were at some point they just started giving up. But from the people that they captured, they were doing things just like robbing houses. They stay extremely unorganized, because our country tried to eliminate all the communication between them and their families back home in Russia. So they started taking civilian cell phones to try to communicate. It was a bunch of stuff like that, and they were running out of food and fuel. So they tried to just go to the local stores, try to get something to eat for themselves, because they didn't have that much of the supply. But they just it was extremely unorganized. So they were robbing a bunch of stuff, and and if they see that our civilians show resistance, they straight up just try to kill them.
George, what's it like being this far away from your family? Like how do you feel? Again, the only you don't have constant communication, but how do you feel being this far away from them? Do you feel helpless in a way?
Yeah, because I'm more of like a family guy, and I grew up with just my mother, because my dad, he's a sailor. So he used to go out to work for a long time. But it's like at times like this is more difficult, since first of all, like I don't see my mother, and then like things like that happen, and I can get in contact with her only through the phone and stuff like that. And then the crazy thing that happened, I remember, I think like a few days before that happened, my dad, he was supposed to go to work. I mean, he eventually left, but the next day, I remember they closed down the airspace and the borders and stuff like that. So my dad got away, but my mom got left on her own and stuff like that. So me and my dad really worried about it. But I mean, I know my mom, she's a strong woman, because I mean, us and like our family, we've been through a lot of things. So I feel like we're gonna get through it. But at the same time, and just being in a position where I'm in right now, and trying to focus on finish up the season, and just being a good student, and trying to like keep my spirits up, trying to keep a positive mindset is very difficult when things like that going on back home. And I feel like for all of us as having family members back home, even without things like that happen, it's still difficult, since you don't really have a chance to see people like your mother, your father, or like your brothers and sisters and all your other cousins. And it's like in my situation, there's I only see my mom, my dad when I go back home, because the city that I moved out from obviously is a Russians now. And they have that thing where like they need you to come to army. So it's like a mandatory thing, and they recruit you as soon as you hit the 18-year-old mark. And I mean, obviously as a student back home, they're not going to recruit you, but as a dude who just left for basketball, they will never understand stuff like that. So just constantly coming to your door and just asking for things like where he at, is he hiding? Or like
Really?
yeah, I mean, that was like me and one of my boys from back home. They're trying to put us on like a wanted list for that, even though like we're both attending the schools and participating in like NCAA stuff. But yeah, and it's like they constantly like was talking to my mom about it. But I mean, thankfully we got away from that stuff. But it's like, yeah, it's like the last time I see my like grandparents or my cousins was probably like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And it's like I only can't contact them through a phone. or through app that we call each other. And I mean, it's just very difficult, I should say. And it's like just being here on your own is difficult, no matter how many people I got or friends. So this is not the same as having your parents around you and just support you a different type of way emotionally, and just, I don't know, it's difficult, I would say.
I figured all four of you would know each other. I don't think am I wrong on this? Do any of the four of you really know each other? Because you all come from completely different areas of a huge country, right? Do any of you guys really know each other?
Well, so I know Vova for a good minute since the Lithuania. We played kind of like on rival teams, but actually I think I've met his mom at some point when I was like 4 years old. Yeah, so we know each other.
But I mean, again, like just hearing your stories, and again, two of you in Russia controlled areas, two of you not, and it's a very, very big. I think what people don't understand or didn't until the war here is how big your country is, how expansive it is, and how many different types of areas. It's funny. I went to Lithuania a few years ago, and it's so small, and then you look, and Ukraine is so big. I guess, how hard is it for you guys right now to even sleep at night? And this can go for any one of you. I mean, are you guys up all night thinking about your families, worrying about your friends, trying to call maybe with the time difference, because that's the best time to maybe get them? Any of you can jump in on this one, but how difficult has it been for you the last few nights just to sleep?
It's very difficult since all this like a time difference and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the fact that I still used to call my mom every day, or maybe once or twice a day. But it's it's difficult to focus. Definitely, it's like you come to practice and you just thinking about like, what am I doing here? It's like, it's not even that you don't want to be here, just that you're so worried about your people back home that you want to be like around your people and help them as much as you can. And it's like you can't do nothing about it. And obviously you can't go back home since all the airspaces are close. And I mean, it's just ridiculous that like I come to practice and I feel like my mind is here and it's like my body is here, but at the same time something is off, and it's like I don't know. It's hard to explain because like I never experienced something like that before, since like I've never been away in a situation like that. So
Max, you're 19. I mean, the rest of these guys are a little bit older than you. You're 19. And again, your family's in a place right now that we all worry about. What are the emotions kind of going through your head at night when you lay down and try to sleep?
Yeah, I would say I'm very worried all the time, trying to keep up with the news, see that make sure that everything is okay. But at the same time, I think if you trust everything that's on the internet and you keep rethinking and overthinking everything, your mind can take you places that you've never seen before, and you just messes with your head, with your brain. So I just try to stay off the social media, honestly, as much as I can, and just talk to my parents, just making sure if they say that everything is good and they safe and everybody around them safe, I'm good with that. But it's definitely stressful, and you got to learn how to control your thoughts in your mind.
Vova, same thing with you. I mean, I know you got your dad who's giving you info, but are you trying to avoid the CNNs and looking online, or are you trying to get as much information as you can and consumed by that? Where are you with that?
So the first 2 days, because I worries about the situation, I don't have no information. I follow the news like every second. After this, I realized that nothing good the news will tell me.
Yeah.
So right now, only what I'm asking, I call to my mom, call to my dad, ask, are they good? And it's only news I want to hear right now. And say like for emotional, I will say right now, everything is lose sense for me. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
It's like everything what you're doing, you think it doesn't matter. Like in this situation, what happened in your family, with your home country, it's so hard to focus.
I'm sure.
Uh,
Dima,
say like a lot of people support me, support my family, support Ukraine, and with this support, it's actually like much easier to live with this. Yeah.
Dima, we were talking before we started. You have one of the nicest human beings ever as a coach, right? In Bryce Drew. I know the family well, and you're not going to find a better human being than Bryce Drew, than Scott Drew, than Homer Drew, all of them. What's that support been like for you, and how hard has it been to focus on basketball? I mean, has it been an outlet just to get on the court and not have to think about anything else that's going on right now back home?
Yeah, basketball has definitely been an outlet to kind of like, just leave your mind, in the locker room and just go and hoop, play basketball. But one of the things that I really appreciate from our coaching staff in school, and I think it's really important from the state as well, it's they engage a lot of media, a lot of social media, a lot of news, and we try to make it as public as we can because I think for my part, because I kind of like stuck here right now with the like situation where I'm right now because I can't even go back home and help there, So my point is like I'm trying to do as much as I can from social media part to make sure that people around me and people in the United States and people back home and people back in Russia understand what is the situation is like and where's the truth. And so I'm trying to engage as much social media as I can, to just make it as public as it possibly can be, because as right now, Ukraine just needs like a world support. And I think a lot other countries should get involved in it because right now it's basically Russia against humanity. Like, it's just,
Guys, I'll throw this for any of you, and you can all jump in. Is the United States doing enough to help Ukraine?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think United States should close the airspace. Our country getting destroyed from the air big time. A lot of civilians, a lot of buildings, a lot of just like civil stuff, like schools, public schools, place where the kindergartens go. It's just all under attack, and we United States should do a lot more to help us and support us, because at the end of the day, we will be the first country, if something would happen with the United States, would just stand up with them. And I'm sure we would love to join any, be a part of NATO or European Union, because we just understand what is democracy is. And that's what we try to do in the past decade. And Russia saw it, and President Putin saw it, and he just didn't want his people to see, Ukraine lives, free. Their country growing, they join in different unions, they're doing good, and I just think we flat out need more support from the United States and any countries that possibly can be involved.
Who else? One of you guys was going to answer. I don't remember who. One of you guys. Go ahead.
I feel like they don't do much because usually United States, they get into a conflict when there is a huge benefit for them. And I feel like this the biggest mistake they've been doing right now, since they're trying to support us financially, but the one thing is finance, not things the troops and the people that can also, interfere the conflict from the other side. Obviously, I will not know everything that's going on in there, and none of us will, but at the same time, I feel like they should actually stand up for us since they support us so much and claim that y'all support us so much. So I feel like it would be just the right thing to do, at least just to put more troops on the borders where we feel much safer, especially on the east side and in the Kiev, which is just ridiculous to see where people just regular civilians dying from nothing. Has nothing to do with it, and will never have anything to do with it. And the people who actually trained to do things like that, they're just in the base, not even deployed anywhere.
What can we do What can us, whether it's media, I mean, obviously that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you guys on, is what can somebody like I do to help you guys? What can anybody watching today, hearing your story, what can they do to help? Other, your teammates are obviously supporting you. I see that with each and every one of you, and it makes me feel great. And your coaching staffs, and you've got kind of a family there. But anybody can jump in on this. What can we do to help you guys?
I mean, for me, actually, we need to talk about this situation because it's not right. In my perspective, the civilian people, the people who have no political power in this world, they help a lot. I feel this because my family in Lithuania right now live in the house with my friends. I mean, people help a lot, but my point is that political should do more, and they definitely can do more. It's in Europe, it's US political, because no one wanna fight, no one wanna kill each other, but political start this game, and only they can stop this.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Yeah, this information has to be as public as it possibly can be, so more people can access it, and they can understand what just the whole country got into. And at this point, we're not trying to defend ourselves. We just fight for our lives. We're just trying to survive there. At this point, we need more troops there, more people who actually were trained to do it, because at this point we have just civilians trying to protect themselves, and they go against heavy Russian equipment, trained soldiers, and it's just not fair at this point. And just the information have to be as public as it possibly can be. And if people who have relatives back home, back in Russia or something, they have to try to tell them that they have to go outside. They have to say, okay, this is not right. Trying to make some gatherings and just stand up from the inside of the country, because I think if Russian people, just civilians, will go on the street and say, okay, this is not politically correct, this is just not fair to Ukrainians or to the rest of the world, and people will start standing up and say, this Putin, our president, gotta go, because it's just crazy what he does. I think it will be the first step to kind of end this conflict.
Do you guys all, at your age, 19 to 21-ish, if I said to you, if you could go over there right now and help fight, would you guys, if you could, would you all go over there right now? I mean, how scary is that thought right now of, again, I'm sure you have friends back there that you grew up with right now that are probably fighting for the country, where, again, you were able to get out, and you probably all got out for the same reasons, again, for basketball, for education, for a better opportunity, right?
Yes. So for me personally, I'm heavily considering right now. It's just a matter of days, and if my hometown, where my uncle and my grandma, where majority of my relatives, they will go down, that's probably what I will have to do, because you just
can you get there? Can you get there at this point, Dima?
I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
Everybody else is trying to leave, and I'm sure you've heard stories and talked to relatives and friends, right, that are trying to get out and sitting in those. I mean, we see them on TV, these long lines to get over the borders. I was talking to Mo Creek the other day, who ended up getting out, former Indiana player who was playing professionally over there, and he didn't if he was ever going to get out. And Dima, you're talking about going back and fighting. What about the rest of you guys? I mean, again, Vova, your dad's done this. I mean, I'm sure you've been around this. Would you go back if you could right now?
Of course, I was not scared to protect her own house. I told you, I was talking to my mom, and my mom already leave Lithuania, leave my sister, and back to Ukraine to help protect our house. Everybody in Ukraine do this right now.
Wow.
And people in Ukraine to protect their own house. They are not scared, and they are heroes in my eyes.
Yeah. George, your mom, like you said, she's there by herself. Now she's safe right now, but like how hard is that knowing your mom is and hopefully she's got relatives and friends that are taking care of her, that she's around, but that's got to be really, really difficult as a son, right?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and it's most definitely I will go back and try and do as much as I can, or whatever I can to protect my home and my mother, obviously. And just by the end of the day, that I know that I'm a man and I grew up a man, and I feel like this is my responsibility. If something like that happens, the first thing is to do is protect my parents. I mean, my family. I mean, everything that I stand for, because without them, by the end of the day, I'm nobody. So I feel like this is a very important thing, and yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
how much would you give, Max, to be back there with your family right now? I mean, I know you'd be scared, but how much would you give to be with them right now, to be able to, at 19 years old, to be able to protect them?
Yeah, I would agree with the guys. I would definitely go back because also at the same time I feel like there's so much anger, just anger bottled up in my body. Just at this point, I just don't care. Honestly, I would just go back and stand our ground, stand in our country until we win and we beat the Russian occupants.
Yeah, like
Well,
people gotta understand that we're not scared.
yeah,
Like
I could tell.
yeah,
I mean,
we are not scared, and if us as an athletes have to just go back there, armor up, and go protect the country because no one else does it, because no one else like shows a legit support, then it's just a matter of time, like days or weeks, when we'll have to hop on the plane and and just go and just stand up by the border, and regardless what place it will be, like for me, it's not just about like my house, it's about the whole country, because we get attacked from 3 ways. And when you see like what's going on there, you just like you just have like a ton of anger, and like and like you just gotta go there and show support to people. And regardless who is it, if it's my mom, my dad, my uncle, or just like just like a Ukrainian family living anywhere, and they just getting stepped over by the Russian soldiers, like it's like it's gotta go.
Before we wrap this up, anything else that you guys want to say that you haven't yet? Anything else that you want to tell everybody watching? And again, I think you'll have a lot of people watching in the college basketball fraternity, the college basketball world. Anything that you guys want to say before we finish up?
I would just say that Ukraine, like I just want like the whole United States, like whoever here it is, we never asked for what is going on right now, and we started to defend ourselves. We showed no action to try to invade in other country. We were living in peace, and it comes not just from me. It comes from my family that lives back there, and from the rest of the Ukraine, and Russian Federation and President Putin just said, okay, we want to colonize Ukraine. We're gonna go back to 1800s. We'll just roll in with a squad, with a ton of military. We'll kill there everybody who wants to resist, and we'll put there our government, and it will be our country. It will be our colony. Ukraine is an independent country, and it will stay that way until like the last of the Ukrainians will fall down. Like you have to kill us to beat us. No other way. And at the end of the day, like we just want a peace. Like we want to live in peace. My family wants to live in peace, and we want to stay in our homes, and we want to be a democratic country. We don't want to live for Russian government and for all that stuff. We just want to live for ourselves and represent a peace in the world.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so how I said before, for me, everyone in Ukraine who already protect his house and already do this, for me, it's the hero, real heroes. My mom, my dad, for me, the heroes.
Yeah.
But also, any heroes need the help. So the people who are ready to help or want to help, it can be any ways. It can be money, praying. If you're politics, if you're a journalist, just talk about this. So if you can help, please do.
Well, I'm going to help all of you guys money wise a little bit when we get off, and I hope everybody else does too, because, you know, again, listen, I think we're all, hopefully I speak for everybody. I'm sure I don't, but I speak for a lot of people. We're praying for your safety, for your family's safety, for your friends' safety, for peace of mind for all of you guys. And I really appreciate you guys doing this. I know it wasn't easy. Trust me, I know it wasn't easy. But again, I hope it helped get the word out a little bit out here, you know, kind of where you are now. And I'm glad everybody, your teammates have been good to you. I'm glad basketball is an outlet. Continue to hopefully let it be an outlet. Play well. And again, Dima, Vova, Max, George, really, really appreciate it. And again, the best to all you and your families. And please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need anything. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it.